Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Open Door podcast. I am so glad you're here today because we are going to be diving into a topic that's at the core of who we are as human beings: dignity. Now, dignity is one of those words that we hear often, but how often do we really stop and think about what it means? So, according to Merriam-Webster, dignity is the quality or state of being worthy, honored, or esteemed. In other words, it's about recognizing the inherent value and worth of every single person. That's easy enough to say, right? But for people experiencing homelessness or struggling to meet basic needs, holding on to a sense of dignity can feel nearly impossible. And it's not because they've lost their worth, it's because the world around them often fails to recognize it. Today, I want to unpack what dignity really means, particularly in the context of food and hygiene and security, and then explore how we as a community can help restore it for those who need it most. Let's start with food because food is so much more than nourishment. It's energy, yes, but it's also comfort, culture, and connection. Think about the pride and joy you feel when you sit down to a meal that you love. Think about your favorite meal, right? Maybe it's one you've chosen or prepared yourself. There is something so fulfilling about that. Now, imagine if you don't have that choice. Imagine not knowing when your next meal will come, or worse, having to rely on someone else to feed you. That uncertainty, that loss of control, it doesn't just impact your body, it chips away at your sense of self. So, food insecurity isn't just about being hungry, it's about the shame and the stigma that often accompany needing help. For so many people, reaching out for assistance feels like admitting failure, even though it's not. No one should feel ashamed for needing food. Food is a basic human right. And yet, our society often attaches judgment to those who are struggling. And that judgment makes it even harder for people to ask for help, even when they're desperate. And then there's hygiene. Hygiene is something most of us don't think twice about until we don't have access to it, right? Taking a shower, brushing your teeth, wearing clean clothes, things that you do literally you should be doing this every single morning, right? But these are simple, everyday acts that make us feel human. They're essential, not just for physical health, but for mental and emotional well being. Without it, it's easy to feel disconnected from the world and from yourself. Now, imagine what it would feel like to go days or even weeks without a shower. Imagine wearing the same clothes every single day, knowing that they're dirty, thinking like that you're dirty. Think about the stares that you know you're going to get or the judgment that you know you're going to face. Hygiene insecurity doesn't just affect how you feel about yourself, it affects how other people treat you. And that can be devastating for someone trying to move forward, whether it's trying to meet with a caseworker that day, applying for a job, looking for housing, just trying to exist in public spaces without feeling ashamed. Homelessness and dignity are often at odds with one another. Homelessness is so public, there's no privacy, no space to retreat and care about yourself. Everything, your struggles, your vulnerabilities, everything is on display. And society, let's be honest, doesn't make it easy. The stigma surrounding homelessness can be crushing. People are reduced to their circumstances, judged for things that are absolutely out of their control. It's not just unfair, it's dehumanizing. But here's the thing, dignity doesn't disappear. Even when it feels buried under layers of hardship, judgment, stigma, it's still there. And the beautiful thing is that dignity can be restored. Sometimes it's in really small gestures that bring it back, like a hot meal served without judgment, a safe place to be vulnerable, to take a shower, or even a nice, kind, loving word that reminds someone that they're still seen and valued, that they matter and they're whole. This is why food and hygiene and security isn't just about survival. It's about humanity. It's about creating moments where someone can feel whole again, even just for a little while. And then when those moments add up, they have the power to absolutely change a life. So here at Emmaus House, we see that literally every single day. We serve a hot meal, and when we serve it, it's not just about filling somebody's tummy, right? It's about restoring a sense of normalcy and a sense of care. When we offer showers or clean clothes that have been folded, clothes that have been washed with the scent beads and dried with the dryer sheets, we're saying, you matter. You deserve this. These services they're small, but someone who's been struggling, it's monumental and it's life-changing. It's so important to remember that dignity is not a luxury. It's not something that you have to work to earn. It's something that every single person, every human deserves simply because they're human. And when we can take the steps to restore dignity for someone else, we are reminding ourselves of our shared humanity. So, what do we do? Well, first, challenge the way we think about poverty and about homelessness. I think we need to move away from judgment and operate from a point of compassion. Uh, Second, we can take action, volunteer at a local shelter or food pantry, donate to organizations that are doing this work, or advocate for policies that address the root causes of homelessness. Finally, we can make dignity a part of our everyday interactions. You can make dignity a part of your everyday interaction. Treat people with kindness, treat them with respect, regardless of their current circumstance. Because at the end of the day, restoring dignity isn't about like a big, grand gesture. It's about small, consistent acts of care, small, consistent acts of compassion, small, consistent acts of love. And those are things that I think every single one of us is absolutely capable. I know this was a short one, but a very important one. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this conversation has given you like a new perspective on the concept of dignity, the role that we can all play in restoring it for other people, understanding that we can be on both sides of this. And sometimes we all feel like we've lost a little bit of our dignity and the beauty that comes from someone else stepping up and kind of giving that back to us, right? It's a beautiful cyclical transaction that can happen more often than it does. So let's remember that everyone, no matter their situation, is deserving of the feeling of value and respect. Until next time, let's keep our doors and our hearts open.